Now let's bring in the co-curator of the festival, Yusrah Bardien, to speak to us about the festival. Thank you very much for your time here on ENCA. Of course, as you heard in my intro, I did say that the relationship between South Africa and the Netherlands is one very important one because of the history that we share. Now, speak to us about how important it is that we use art to express ourselves and come together to celebrate our freedom and constitution.
Hi, Maseko. Thanks for having me this morning. It's great that we're celebrating this festival, especially that this year is the 25th year that we adopted the Constitution, and it's the 25th year that the Centre for Creative Arts has been in existence. And South Africa has a proud history of relating arts to democracy, and we want to celebrate that importance of how arts and activism come together, and to encourage society to participate in active citizenry through the arts.
I think it's also very important the fact that it's getting support from the Embassy of the Netherlands.
It's great that the Embassy of the Netherlands, they have this reputation that goes back all the way to 1652, but we forget that in the last, during apartheid, the work that the Netherlands did to assist anti-apartheid struggle activists, for instance, allowing activists into the country without passports. And it's important that the Netherlands is here working with us to address a better relationship with South Africa than one that has come so long. It has changed and developed, and here they are working with us to empower our citizens through art to celebrate freedom of expression and celebrate freedom of creativity with our leading artists in the country and some of the best Dutch artists.
Now, I did see in one of the statements made by one of the role players is that the festival would also be very provocative. Of course, discussing things such as our history as well as art and expressing ourselves in this way is already a provocative event. Tell us more about why in the statement they explained that some of the artists would be expected to be provocative.
It's important to have provocative conversations. We are in a state where we need to have these conversations. We want to challenge the notions of patriarchy. So one of our conversations is a comedy discussion between female comedians about the patriarchy within comedy and the greatest sense of our society. We have a conversation about gender and sexuality, especially in a country like ours where the statistics are alarmingly high and where gender and sexual marginalized communities remain marginalized and oppressed, with the many hashtags for justice for Lulu, Black Lives Matter. These are the important questions that will be raised through conversations about arts. And when we have our president constantly using phrases from the arts to motivate the country, when our president in his inaugural speech, State of the Nation, said "Tuma Mina," that was an artist phrase because it's arts that inspire people, it gives people hope, and it inspires people to take part in society, in active citizenry. It's important that we have provocative conversations to remind people that they have a voice.
Yusrah, tell us a little bit about how the festival will work this time around. We know that a lot of festivals, because of lockdown and COVID-19 regulations, do take place virtually, as is the new norm.
So the conversations will take place online. It does help us reach a broader audience. We are based at the University of KwaZulu-Natal through the Centre of Creative Arts, but by having it online, we will be able to reach a global audience, a national audience, and make sure that these important conversations are reached by everyone, because it's important for everyone to be able to hear these debates and participate and feel the power of the arts wherever they are.
Is it a free type of event? Can I log in, or do I need to buy a ticket?
The event will be free to the public. Thanks to the support of the Embassy of the Netherlands, we are able to make this event free to the public. So when we launch our program tomorrow, we will also launch details of how you can register for an event. And it will take place through Zoom and YouTube. And so that way you can also participate in the conversation through the chat functions, through the comment functions, and allow a two-way discussion with our audiences.
All right, Yusrah Bardien, thank you very much. She's the co-creator of Artfluence.